afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, of here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov between the South Guard Redxwings, fighting here for King and Country, a rare display of the Brits from Redxwings, taking on the role here of the Guards Armoured Advance, charging ahead there for King and Country towards Berlin versus the North. You got Ace taking on the role here of the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the Kampfgruppe Meyer, hastily assembled from elements of different shattered panzer divisions and infantry divisions, tasked with holding the line and throwing back the Tommies into whatever nearest body of water is available to throw all of them into. All of them. And we've got here mobile defense German mechanized elite troops for Ace with infantry Panzerfaust versus Redxwings with Commando Regiment. With Commando infantry and anti-tank and bulletins, Redxwings seems to be exploring the Commando doctrine. Certainly one of, I think, the less appreciated British doctrines, but certainly one I've certainly had, personally, quite a nice bit of success with. We got Grenadiers MG412 with 8 sandbags going down the Carve Point. Pioneers swiftly matching out sand and sandbags out of nowhere, so they throw it down into a nice pile in front of the... up behind the point. There we go. Universal Guard here for Redxwings to push ahead against the German positions. Section following up. So you can see Redxwings is going for a bit of a disruptive start, delaying his own fuel from being secured, but trying that way to throw Ace off his early game and pressure him with a threat of a tiny little armoured bastard. Trying to pressure up the west side there with this infantry section. Universal Care falling a bit back. At least for now, Redxwings will probably try and push hit somewhere to sort of disrupt Ace again. Just sort of keep him constantly guessing, constantly paranoid that behind every bush, every wooden cart, there might be a little Universal Care raid to hit him in the flank. Pushing up the Vickers, so Redxwings is definitely aiming for a very disruptive start with the Brits. To an extent, risky if he doesn't get the fuel soon enough here versus Ace, but I mean, if he can make it work out, it's going to be quite potent because it's going to be very difficult to push off. But again, if it fails, Redxwings is going to be in for a rough time. Got a second section on the way there for Redxwings. We got more Grenadiers around there for Ace. Grenadiers being held up. He has secured the fuel point. He does hold the Carve Point. That's about all that is happening there for Ace at the moment. Redxwings still gaining other parts of the map here, but he's still going to be falling behind Redxwings in fuel. And there go Vickers setting up, catching him before droop by the heavy cover. The problem is, the Universal Care wrecks the cover. Good Lord, Jeremy, they were using that. Well, not anymore, now are they? Grenadiers flanking in behind. He's going to have to retreat here. So far, Redxwings' disruptive start has been self-disrupted by Ace's stalwart defense of Germanic territory, or Belgium, you know, whatever counts. Section there's Grenadiers quickly taking some losses there. Several casualties piling up there for Redxwings and his men. Universal Care down. Grenadiers push back here with the Vickers, firing round after round into exposed German backs. In the south fuel point finally being secured there for Redxwings. Take up going on as well there for the Guards Armoured Division. Section or Grenadiers moving down. Then we got a third Grenadier squad out here for Ace as he takes up, moves onwards for Deutschland. Pioneers reinforced, good to go once more. So definitely an incredibly aggressive start there from Redxwings with the Brits. Not entirely what they're good at though, again, thanks to how the British infantry work. You can to an extent pull it off if your opponent isn't quite prepared for it. Though it is slightly more common, so there's a chance they are a bit more prepared for it. And it seems like in this case, Ace very much was prepared, or at least somewhat prepared, and prepared enough to at least, you know, stall the Tommies and the advances a bit here. And the West Grenadiers caught here with a section. Poor Jurgen sprung into death there. A severe case of extreme rigor mortis, which happens like in 1 second, so he just bounces up. Doesn't actually exist, but you know. In the south section they're riding. Sappers on the way there. Redxwings flying the field with a bit of cheaper infantry. And we got light to mechanized company up as Ace and the Kampfgruppe Meyer swiftly moves onwards to the next level. The next tier of German technology. Pushing the boundaries of what is possible when it comes to smashing in the faces of the English. Vickers, meanwhile, having himself a nice time, wondering if they should perhaps leach a bit of water there from the machine gun to make themselves a nice cup of tea. I don't think the machine gun's hot enough for that, Lewis. We're gonna have to wait for a few more Huns to appear. Alright. As for those wondering why they call them Huns, that's basically a reference to World War I, or basically something from World War I, but basically they compared the Germans to the Hun swords, and lastly, they just began calling them the Huns. They also called them the Bosch, which is something the French call them, which I think call them cabbages or something. They also called them the Boche because the French and the British fought together in World War One. In fact, there's a lot of World War One slang that sort of stuck on to World War Two. That's a little fun fact there. Sappers on the way there for the Redxwings, so he's bringing up more sappers there with more Sten guns. And it is moving about here, a bit shooting back and forth in the east, still maintaining position. He's basically preoccupied with Redxwings pressure up the west side. He's not actually doing anything about the right hand side. Second sapper section out there. Commander obviously ready, but Commander docks at the same time. One of those reasonably potent docks, but basically has nothing to do until the 4-minute mark. Well, not 4-minute mark, but the 4 command point mark. So it's going to take a bit of while before to get into sort of really begin hit, but at the same time, well utilised, it can be a really nasty doctrine. Going to be remaining up here. We've got a 2-2 out here for Ace that way, try and maybe sort of outmaneuver Redxwings. The British are weak to armoured vehicles until they get the AC. So in that regard, a 2-2-2 could prove to be quite effective here, since it does lack any snares. In particular, since he's gone for Commando, he can't go for special weapons. I mean, he didn't have the option there anyways. As for Redxwings, he is preparing for the armoured car himself. He is expecting the 2-2, as it is certainly a common choice as either that or the half-track, and either way, a good counter to that is, well, an AC Mark III. And there you go, 2-2, lighter punches Baywagon around there for 8. Mortar following up here. Granatenwerfer. Sappers versus Pioniere, Sten guns versus MP40s and a Flammenwerfer. Sten guns there saying those pioneers running. The Sten gun was known for not being the most reliable of submachine guns, to put it mildly. Apparently that improved with different models, and there were a lot of models of the Sten gun. Initial improvements were made when they got a toy maker to have a look at it, and I believe he made some greater leaps there. Some German infantry were quite fond of using the Sten gun, since it was designed to use German ammunition, so they had no problems there, but because they could fire it from a prone position thanks to the magazine being in the side of the submachine gun, rather than just sticking downwards, so that made it a bit more easy to use from a prone position, making some German soldiers more likely to use it. Fun note there. No light machine guns as yet here for Ace. We got the bunker up there as well for him, and he and the light mechanized company, nothing further going on. He could be aiming for some Panzergrenadier, but he's obviously more intent on getting his men some proper medical attention. As for Redxwing, seeing reinforcement going on there, nothing further. AC, they're able to put some pressure on Ace, setting up his position there around the centre, establishing a strong point there. He could consider some mines here and there, maybe some sandbags or barbed wire. Mortar firing down. He's anticipating that Redxwings is occupying the house, but joke's on him. The house is empty. There we go. Large group moving out there from Redxwings base, equipped with rifles and submachine guns, ready to challenge the Hun. Meanwhile, Redxwings here, anticipating mines, though Ace has yet to lay down a single mine. Has got mines for us to push ahead there. Very good. Very good. Definitely always going to disanticipate mines. Of course, if your opponent doesn't do it, great for you. But if he does, and you don't have mines, but you can usually get into a lot of trouble. So overall, nice work there. Section there being suppressed. Sappers there, Grenadiers opening up, but they can't find themselves getting flanked by section. More section there, got the 2-2 opening up from the road here. AC could try and push forward, in fact, but he might of course be worried about mines along the main road there. And thusly, it's not pushing in his AC because, well, he does not want it to blow up. Which is certainly one of reasonably understandable worry. Ace following up here with the Panzer up there, Kanone 40. Some solid German anti-tank fire. Troops are healing, reinforcing. AC rolling about here, and these got section versus Grenadiers quickly occupying the house, leaving the section in a bad spot. And without grenades, Redxwings has no way of immediately clearing out the house and forcing out those dastardly hands. Time to earn the King's shilling. Right here, Grenadiers versus section. The sections win this due to their cover bonus, but of course also more windows. Of course, I forgot about the mortar, which rather switches the calculations there in favour of Ace. But he's got the Pack 40 out there, the Panzer Abwehr Kanone 40. As for Redxwings, nothing further happening. He's flying quite a bit of manpower, so he's clearly saving up there for Commando Glider insertion. He might want to consider additional, maybe Vickers or something else in the meanwhile, though. I think floating that much manpower at this stage is a bit counterproductive. You could also consider fuel cast to assist with faster armour. Just You know, don't float close to 800 manpower. Again, I can understand why he's doing it. I just don't think it's the best idea. I mean, the Commando Glider station is expensive, so obviously he wants to float some manpower for it, but when there's still, you know, roughly a command point to go and you're floating 800, which is 300 more than you need, well, it seems a bit excessive to me. Gonna use Pioneer support. Nope, oh, he's laying down a lot of mines now. I should cancel this one. Basically, we're going to make it harder there for Ace to rush him. Panzer Grenadier following up there for Ace. Some more hardened infantry for him, as Redxwings is clearly setting up for his own hardened infantry to, you know, appear from the skies. Sounds we can push back there by Grenadiers. Got the pack for them down there. Going to make it harder for Redxwings to operate armoured car within this territory. So that's good work there by Ace. Of course, it gives him more leeway on the flanks. Telemine spotted. So there we go. Minesweeper paying off for Redxwings. I mean, that is 30 munitions, that was 50 munitions. Minesweepers tend to be worth it very quickly. Very quickly. Going to take man losses here. Ace though slowly making progress towards the cough pump. We got the 2-2 supporting drill. Sappers getting blasted by the armored car. Panzers moving in. The Sturmgewehrs blazing out dozens of rounds. In bursts, of course, controlled bursts, the assault rifle could not handle full automatic fire due to the recoil. Broke the rifle, and there you go. It's a plane! It's a bird! 9, you idiots! It's a glider! Fire frei! And there we go, Panzers need to retreat. He's landing the glider, and oh, where's he going to land it? Oh, survived a mine, impressive. Those steel-toed jack boots are helping out a lot. And there you go, gliders being right behind you, hitting the mortar crew directly. Their silent Sten guns tearing through in a matter of seconds, disrupting Ace's defensive lines here, support line there. He's got no infantry nearby, the machine gun is overwhelmed as well. The Pack 40 is not a trouble, the 2-2 moving in, but the AC could pursue here and push it back, and the Pack 40 can't set up to fire there because it then gets wiped by the commandos. This is quickly turning a bit horrid here for Ace. Commandos moving in there. Pack 40 crew being rubbed out by the silent Sten guns. There we go. Cutting them to ribbons. Annihilating all of the German gunners. 2-2 being taken out here by the AC as well. Section running for the mortar. You can also steal the Pack 40 and turn that against Ace here. And there you go. Mortar stolen. So if he's not going to grab it, he needs to destroy it before it's too late. Definitely does not want Ace to have a Pack 40 back in his arsenal. Almost got it there, almost got it. Ah, missed. How did you miss that? It's standing still. The laws of ballistics don't deviate that much. Shoot it, man. Back here, troops reinforcing. They could also be the healing. The commanders then enjoying their nice little raid. Did you see the look on their faces as we appeared out of nowhere with our submachine guns? Ah, yes. It was quite hilarious. Even more hilarious when they filled them with holes. There we go. Ace, in response to this sudden appearance of British aggression from the skies, goes mobile defense, mobilizes his armored reconnaissance reserves, and pulls out a Puma. So that's going to help us the AC. That's going to not help too much with taking up fast. He does have plenty of resources still, so Ace is not going to be in too much trouble because of that. Also got some light machine guns for his Grenadiers, trying to wreck the glider, which is blocking everything. Got a Grenadier squad covering the right flank here, but against two sections, that is going to be a bit questionable what can do there with the light machine gun. So now we got a mortar to support the section. More mines there down from Redxwings. He's also got plenty of mission, for example, to pop smoke radar bridge, which allow for quite a big offensive. It's basically cover the entire front using one thick smoke screen. Or maybe push ahead with assault. Hell, you could combine the two. Some of these there, they push back, 2 to 2 moving in. MD42 suppressed here in the centre. As it takes quite a pasting from the Vickers, that does return a few hits. The West Panzers moving up, the Grenadier support commander standing up. They're clearly looking to ambush someone as they push it and then sort of cut them to size. But there you go, Grenadiers moving ahead. Caught by the commanders again, the veterans who won, opening up there for the light smoke grenade ability, which is honestly one of the more confusing abilities. Because it doesn't, you know, provide actual smoke, it just provides light covered signals, allows them to heighten it, but yeah, it's a bit weird really, it's really weird. I'm not entirely sure what the plans were for that one. But there you go, could lose a Panzer squad, that's going to be quite a loss there for Ace. Hardened German Panzer going to be sliced down by the Sten guns of the commanders. Sex moving out here with a 2 to 2. Small victory there for Ace. But not really compared to the loss of the Panzer. There's more to their gaining veterans. 4 kills for King and Country. Redxwings having tagged up here. And he's in fact going straight for Anvil. Could open up here for heavy sappers. But could then be planning for a Churchill tank. He might want to go for a Cromwell first. Then seeing more pressure on Ace before pushing for it. Could also still go for the Cromwell first, then push out a Churchill versus Ace. We'll see what ends up with there. Puma though heavily damaged and alright, apparently that's made out of, I don't know, rubber. Gotta love that company's two physics engine. Sometimes you just get the weirdest things. The placement Panzer Grenadier there for Ace and the Kampfgruppe Meyer. Bit more bolder now that they've been able to bring up more light vehicles. And finally some tech as well there. Can soon be calling in some Panzers or the Stugs. Victory points whilst Redxwings maintains a nice lead here versus Ace. Also note Redxwings is not pouring anything towards us, and it's actually hitting the sides as well. They're very good. Looking to maybe outmaneuver while they're moving up forces of time down in the centre. That looks to be a very, I think, solid idea. But there you go, 2 to 2 versus the commanders, and the tank weapons not here to support on these sides. It's got no way of countering the 2 to 2. The 6 pounder gun's a bit too far away. And the West take on the leaders versus section inside the house. Light machine gun fire there should overwhelm the section eventually. That's going to take some time. 2 to 2 and Puma here is definitely going to force the anti-tank gun over here because the AC risks a bit of prominence. There you go, commanders playing against the centre though. Light going both off. Oh, he's not paying attention and he gets the Panzer Grenadier's wipe. A moment of inattention costs Ace the Gruely. That's just brutal. Another Grenadier squad. There we go. Got mortar cover raining down as well here. Ace, centre's being shattered here as British artillery is now supporting push from the Guards Armoured Division here. White phosphorus mortar runs going off left and right, causing great confusion, dismay, and chemical burns. Horrific stuff there. Lost the Grenadier squad too. Ace is down now, just 2 Grenadiers, a Pioneer squad, and a Pack 40 alongside some vehicles, and now a command tank. Ace desperately flinging in his Befehlspanzerwagen in an attempt to buy time here. Having now lost his MG42 as well here. That is quite brutal there. I mean, Redxwings certainly took some hits there, but he can quickly replace those with just reinforcing his units. Ace has no such luxury. He might even be forced to have to go here for the Austrian reserve to just quickly fill out the gaps. Teleman's down here. Ace not missing a beat, literally somehow trying to maybe catch Redxwings off guard if he gets a bit too overconfident. That was quite brutal for Ace there. Quite brutal. And quite expensive. I mean, losing a Panzer Grenadier squad without even doing anything is really painful. Certainly just highlights also just afterwards the mortar cover ability, just how nice that one can be. Made it much harder for Ace to quickly get a control of the situation as he just further undermined any attempts to maintain that defensive position there. Grenadiers moving to the Vickers machine gun here, 6 pounder gun to open up the command tank, landing a good hit. Redxwings can soon go for the Churchill tank. And Ace is basically going to have a Puma and a Pack 40 to try and stop the Churchill tank. That is not going to be easy. And there you go. He's almost got the resources. Just a bit more fuel to go. And he can call in the Churchill tank to roll over Ace's lines. Well, what remains of them. Puma just hanging back. Minesweeper spots the mine there. Good work by Redxwings. More telemines down there again. Ace, even if they get spotted here, is taking no chance. I mean, it only takes one moment here. One moment of Redxwings getting more confident, and the telemine's going to pay itself off. So, you know, doesn't hurt at all to have them. But now Redxwings has certainly got a large force out there. A lot of infantry, support weapons, and an armor car. I mean, armor-wise, he's certainly behind Ace, and vehicle he's also just a bit behind, but overall he's still got sort of but allowed to maintain good map control here versus Ace. And now I can call in the Churchill tank once. In fact, he should have done so at least a minute ago. But alright, the faster the better for him, and the slower the better for Ace. So he has more time to bring up some kind of counter. He might want to get up support, of course, soon. Pack 40 wipe there. Ace immediately jumps on it, knowing he's going to need it. I mean, he doesn't know what he's going to need it against, but he knows he's going to need it. He cannot afford it, you know, to be secured by the enemy and not have it ready at all times. But there you go, Commando's into the pursuit here. 21 kills, virtually free. They haven't been on the field, I think, for that long yet. They've already just gained that much versus Ace. Still not going for that Churchill tank. I'm guessing he's just too preoccupied. He's forgetting about it here. And that certainly, again, is very beneficial for Ace, as that really just allows him to bring up more stuff to deal with. And there you go, Churchill tank on the way for the Guards Armoured here. Sappers caught out in the open by the command tank with Felix Panzerwagen. Fires 10 explosive shells, catching the 6-pounder gun there off guard. Looks like he's using the armored cars as bait to then flank in with the command tank. Very nice move there by Ace. That was, I think, overall very well executed flank assault here. That was very well executed. Used the lighter armored cars to basically bait the anti-tank and to try and react to it, and then when he knows the anti-tank, at least assumes it is, he attacks with the anti-tank gun from the front, or from the anti-tank gun's flank. That was a very nice maneuver there by Ace, overcoming an RS disadvantage situation here to turn the tables on Ace using whatever superior mobility he had in the form of the vehicles. Very good work there. That's some very good work. Even getting some wipes in here and getting the AC as well here. Outstanding work. Obviously, had Redxwings gone for the Churchill tank sooner, this would not have been quite as possible. So it's a good thing that Ace did not wait any longer to try and do this. But good lord, good work there. Lost it to the 2, but overall, wiped an AC, wiped the machine gun, wiped the 6-pounder gun, pushed Redxwings off the centre of the map there. Good work. And oh dear, Redxwings here trying to turn the situation on here with an infantry assault. Or just assault. Allowing the section to rush ahead. They're boosting their firepower. Completely routing Ace there. Though again, he had so many other support ones he had to get out of there. He's going to likely lose some of them. Yeah, nasty work there by Redxwings. And he's called in a second commando glider. Bold. Almost got the 6-pounder gun here. Command tank almost taken out. Sappers advancing. Pack 40 covering. Puma supporting here as well. Section just continuing ahead here. Pioneers tempted to try and repair, but with the sections under assault there. And again, this ability lasts quite a bit of time there. You can't do it. I mean, a full minute of this is quite extreme. And there you go. Redxwings now popping down smoke raid operation to just further make it harder their face to defend by just obscuring his fields of fire. Charging ahead here. Of course, cloaking up his troops as well. Churchill attacking, commanders moving in as well. Rather boldly attacking right through it, knowing there's anti-tank is nearby. Commanders there probably should have been infiltrated first sooner. And he's exposed the rear to the anti-tanks. So right here though, Redxwings I think is making a bit of a tactical error there with Churchill. He's laying down smoke with it, but the problem is the commanders were not quite fast enough to clear out the anti-tank, and his Churchill just took too much damage from the anti-tank guns. The Puma and the command tank didn't too much. It was really just the anti-tank as they completely demolished the Churchill tank. So I think in this case Redxwings got perhaps a bit too overconfident. He's filling up there with a Stube. Wiped out a unit there. Got both anti-tank guns, but not so much else. Oh, he steals a flamethrower there as well, so he's got some wipes in an Ace. Not completely bad, but the Churchill basically didn't do much there. The end could have been executed a bit better. And maybe should have waited a bit longer. But I like the idea, though. I like the idea. I mean, it's great stuff there overall. In fact, he's now used 4 abilities out of Commando Doctrine, which is extremely rare. I mean, air supremacy relation just isn't good, but the rest is actually pretty good under most circumstances. That was some really good use there by Redxwings. Just the overall execution there. Besides that, there was a bit lacking, but pretty impressive stuff there. Almost worked too, though. I mean, again, had he been able to clear out the anti-tank as fast as Churchill would have been able to destroy the rest. So that was a bit lucky there for Ace, who's pushing it with the Stug and everything else he can muster, though. I mean, Kampfgruppe Meyer has been quite brutally vandalized here by the British. More pioneers out there. Need to repair all of his vehicles and armor. Glider destroyed. Back here healing reinforcement. 22 kills, 4 kills. Another 6-pounder gun out there for Redxwings. Glider destroyed by the Stug. Command tank halfway down there being fixed up. Grabbing the cut-off point there. Very good. The problem is there's actually all these points, so it's still connected though. It needs to cut off this point as well. Or this point, basically. Following up with Norseman here for the infantry. Mine goes off. Friedrich blows himself out by accident. And he can soon go for a second Churchill, though he might want something else. Firefly would probably be the better choice here. Though even that's going to struggle a bit versus all this. In fact, the Churchill might still in some ways be the better choice. And can he soak up the fire better than the Firefly? Command tank moving up. These sections advancing, coming under fire there from the Befehlspanzerwagen. 13 kills for Germany. Hauptmann Gottlieb strikes. And there you go, Flakpanzer out for Ace. And the Kampfgruppe Meyer. More pioneers on the way there for him to help repair his stuff. Trying to get out the southern victory point did not work out well there thanks to the machine gun there covering it. An MG42 which Redxwings pilfered him against him or from him doing a commando raid. But quite a turnaround there after having more or less lost that Churchill in a not very good manner. Ace was basically able to turn things around. He's going for a Firefly here. It's going to be interesting because the Stug and the Puma could basically overwhelm the Firefly if we can really fire a lot there. That's kind of the challenge here for Redxwings, and again, that part of me thinks he might have been better off with another Churchill tank, but even that one's going to struggle. Command tank there gains 52, 6-pounder gun being heavily plus there with German fire. Almost wiping in the 6-pounder gun, and there it goes, successfully does so. Six-pounder gun destroyed, leaving Redxwings now only with a Firefly once it hits you to deal with all the German army. He's trying to smoke it here actually. Not a bad idea, not a bad idea, just in this case a bit too late for Redxwings. Six-pounder gun. Firefly on the move. Needs to be careful. Taking fire there from the command tank that actually penetrates. Puma shoots through the smoke, gets a good hit. Firefly shoots, misses the Puma. Puma fires again and misses this time around the Firefly. A lot of mines here. I mean, I don't think he's so far had any of the mines really pay off, but Aces at the same time never stop using them because, again, even if one goes off, it's going to generally be worth it. So in this regard, we can see here Ace is a very thorough player. Certainly a great deal of consistency there. Commanders charging into the Grenadiers with the light machine guns. Command tank Puma Stug all opening up on the veterans of 3 commandos as they blitz ahead. And there you go, pops a smoke grenade so cheap, but they still take a bit of punishing fire there from the Wehrmacht. Second commando squad rushing into Polybus section. Firefly good to go again for Redxwings. Commanders charging straight ahead into the German Welcome Committee. Firefly opening up, mine goes off. Firefly lands a good in the Ostwind, but the problem is there's still the Stug and the Puma, which of course have a high rate of fire. The Firefly's going to struggle against this, particularly moving too far ahead. There's nothing to screen to cover it. So in this case, they can quickly pursue, and there we go. Firefly abandoned even. Puma gets in his and crews it. And with that, Redxwings has no way of now dealing with any of Ace's vehicles or armor. And with this, Redxwings surrenders. A victory here for Ace. The Kampfgruppe Meyer has successfully beaten back the assault here from the Guards Armoured Division and buying Germany at least 12 more hours, maybe. So there you go, game over. An interesting fight here, Redxwings leading up aggressively, you know, pushing it, but suffering a bit. They were still able to then turn that around using the commanders. Some good maneuvers there, catching Ace off guard, stealing a lot of his stuff. Also preparing to mine, I think, more defensively than could have, mine more aggressively, as Ace was able to hold on to some ground here decently. I think his big mistake was basically A, being a bit too late in going for the Churchill, or just not going for a Cromwell faster, and then how he used the Churchill. I mean, he kind of got thrown away there. I mean, had the assault that been a bit better executed, he probably could have pulled it off, but instead it didn't quite. He rushed the Churchill too far ahead, and that rather allowed Ace to focus down with both anti-tank guns. So that did not work out well for Ace. I mean, had Redxwings been able to pull it off, he would have won this right then and there, but without it, and he wasn't able to pull back the Churchill. On the other hand, the game switched away there because he invested so many resources into it that if he lost it so fast without gaining anything from it, it became a net net gain for Ace. So there you go. A victory for the fatherland. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. Of course, remember to press like, and overall, if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. Whatever you can, give is most appreciated. It helps me out a ton. And of course, a big thanks to all those who already do support on Patreon. Big thanks to all of you. You all allows me to keep doing this day after day. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.